Electric cars have been becoming more and more popular throughout the past few years. The reason's not hard to understand. We've heard a lot about climate change in the recent decades, and eco-friendliness has become more and more important, not only for worldwide companies, but for the average person as well. Electric cars. Though the possibility of leaving behind harmful substances after abandonment is way better at keeping Earth's natural condition than traditional cars. They don't release carbon gases, and they are easily recyclable, which makes the issue of radioactive waste negligible. Switching all cars that run on gas to electric cars would mean a huge step in stopping climate change and saving our world. But it isn't the only advantage. Car brands that focus on electric cars, for example Tesla, are more open to innovations. This means we can find several high-tech features which make using our cars that much more convenient. So then, why don't we all have electric cars? Currently, the reason is that a good electric car is really expensive. But don't worry, Elon Musk has come to the rescue once again. A lot of news about the Tesla Model 2 has been coming up recently. However, it's highly expected not to be called Model 2, as it implies a smaller version of the Model 3, while really, it will be a more economic version. So the name we can expect upon release is Model Q. Tesla's target is a $25,000 car, but the Model 3 was also supposed to be a $35,000 and has also ended up being more expensive. The price of the Model 3 currently sits at just under $47,000 in the US. When Tesla created the Model 3, they essentially built a scaled-down, more efficient version of the Model S by removing features that were more expensive or hard to manufacture. Many of the switches, vents, and features were either simplified or completely removed. They replaced physical controls with on-screen controls, like the handle for the glove box, mirror adjustment buttons, windshield wiper controls, and many others. Some other simplifications that were made to the vent system and the steering wheel buttons. The interior and exterior door handles were also redesigned to reduce the number of moving parts. So cutting the cost of these cars certainly has disadvantages. For the Model 3, it meant taking away some key features we can find in almost all other vehicles. However, when the Model 3 was unveiled, it wasn't entirely clear which features were cost-cutting measures and which features were iterations that would become standard in all future Teslas. While controlling everything in your car on screen is surely a money-saving move, it is also something that makes control more centralized and easier to manage. Therefore, something that Tesla might aim for anyways. Cost-effectiveness could just be a lucky coincidence, or some might say, a happy accident. However, in 2021, when Tesla debuted the Model S, it has become clear that it isn't a case, and money saving is truly the only reason for the change of some features. We saw a lot of Model 3 features carry over from the redesigned Model S, such as the horizontal center screen and one continuous vent with on-screen controls. But not every feature made it over. These are the so-called compromises Tesla made to create a vehicle that is cheaper to manufacture when compared to the Model S. But at what cost? The Model 3 doesn't have an air suspension, cooled seats, a rear screen, or an instrument cluster. It also has a slightly smaller center screen. So now that you see how much it has been simplified, you might ask yourself, what more can Tesla remove or simplify from a Model 3 to create a more affordable vehicle? Tesla would likely keep all software-only features since they don't add much to the cost of the vehicle. The main money problem comes with physical features, which are not essential but add to the driving experience, the comfortableness, and the convenience, all properties which have been typical of Tesla cars. Some possibilities may include fewer speakers, removing heated seats in the rear, removal of wireless chargers, and removal of the glass roof. Removing any cameras or the FSD computer is unlikely since the FSD package is profitable for Tesla, and there are also safety features that depend on that hardware. So now that we see how they can just take away features, you might be curious about what essential things they can remove while keeping the car working perfectly. Well, Elon Musk has already had plans for a car without wheels or pedals, so there isn't such a thing as an outrageous idea. It would be called Robotaxi, and the goal is to make a fully autonomous vehicle. So if they can't manage to cut the cost of the Model 2 even more, they can just transform it into the long-awaited Robotaxi. At Battery Day, Tesla left yet another clue. Elon said that the standard range vehicle and future models will use the lithium iron phosphate batteries. LFP batteries are cheaper to produce and have some advantages and disadvantages when compared to nickel batteries. Tesla would likely use the 4680 LFP battery, named after its dimensions, 46mm by 80mm for the Model 2. They are much cheaper to manufacture, producing 5 times more energy, 16% more range, and 6 times more power, making them far more economic than traditional batteries. They would also allow the vehicle to be smaller and lighter. However, it will likely offer less travel range than its predecessors, with 250 to 300 miles. The company will use a structural 4680 cell pack in a single body cast to manufacture the Model 2 as efficient as possible. This, along with advanced robotics, will help Tesla achieve economics of scale and mass manufacturing their most affordable car yet. In May of 2022, during the Financial Times Future of the Car interview, Elon stated that there is some probability that Tesla would make a car smaller than the Model 3, leaving the possibility open for both a smaller Model 3 and a Tesla robotaxi. Tesla's goal of achieving 100% localization in China, which local President Xi talked about in an interview, is not far from reality. Citing a China pilot-free trade zone, said in a report on August 18, 2021, that the company could achieve about 90% localization there by the end of 2021. 100% localization would allow the company to price the Model 2 aggressively. With the high level of quality Tesla aims to offer even in its most affordable car, meaning the target price of $25,000 is challenging. The LFP chemistry will keep the battery cost low, but there's even more the company can do about that. This is what Zachary Kirkhorn, CFO Tesla, said during the Q1 2021 earnings conference call. Obviously, building a car like the Model S is quite complex and has various moving parts. Model 3 and Model Y were steps in improving that. But when you look at some of the other advancements that we are including in the Model Y factories in Austin and Berlin, we've reduced the body pounds by as much as 60%, and that part costs money. Tesla has high hopes for China as a future hub for R&D and manufacturing. During the opening ceremonies of the World Internet Conference in 2021, on September 26, 2021, Musk said that the company would continue increasing investments and R&D efforts in the country. After opening the Tesla Gigafactory Shanghai in 2019, it constructed the Tesla Shanghai R&D Innovation Center and a Tesla Shanghai Superfactory Data Center in 2021. On October 25, 2021, the company announced they had completed building the globally relevant R&D Center, which Tesla can use the Chinese R&D Center for vehicle development, including software, hardware, electronics, material, etc., and the local data center, which will store China's operating data like factory production information. From its initial design to final testing, the creation of the $25,000 Tesla is likely to have an influence from its first R&D center outside of the United States. In an interview with Xinhua Net, Tesla China President Tom Zhu confirmed that the company would be able to design, engineer, develop, and test models at this overseas facility. Zhu said that Tesla had shared the ultimate goal of the Tesla China R&D Center on many public occasions. He suggested models made here will indeed be global Teslas, not China-exclusive cars. The ultimate goal has been mentioned on many occasions. In the future, we want to develop and produce an original model in China. It's manufactured here and sold to the world. This R&D center is the starting point of the goal. We've mentioned it before, that we hope the vehicle built in China can have 100% local components. So all in all, don't expect the Model 2 anytime soon. First, they will probably convert to manufacturing in China, thus cutting the cost even more without taking away any essential features. And also, Elon has talked about Tesla finishing the Cybertruck this year and starting production in 2023. Tesla also has the Roadster and Semi to produce, which are very likely to be ahead of the Model 2. So don't get too excited yet, as it might come in 2024 at best. But it's always a good idea to start saving up ahead. So all in all, don't expect the Model 2 anytime soon. First, they will probably fully convert to manufacturing in China, thus cutting the cost even more without taking away any essential features.